Hello, welcome back to Dust Copies. So, as I mentioned previously, I was having a little bit of trouble narrowing down which mini I wanted to build next in the Deuslair Kickstarter. After some careful thought and consideration, I decided to stick with the core set, box 2 specifically. And I did mention that I really enjoy like earth elementals and things like that in order to throw at my players, and it just so happened that this box actually contains the stone ward. Now, he is right there on the box, so that's the one that we're going for. And here is another shot of him. He is multi-pose. It comes with 4. Each one has a different pose. So yeah, I'm very excited to continue my journey into sprue miniatures, and let's get started. When building the stone wards, you will find their parts to be on sprues 5 and 6. Here is a closer look at sprue 5. And here is a close-up shot of sprue 6. Okay, let's make a start. For the first base, we're going to need parts A1, A7, A6, A2, A4, A5, and finally A3. As you can tell, there's a lot of definition, a lot of texture in each one of these, which again, even though I've made like the Royal Guards and whatnot, I'm still really impressed with these sculpts. So let's, as I said before, let's get to it. I think I've missed one. Yes, I have this big one right here. There we go. Oh, and there's also one more down here. Just making extra careful that I don't cut off a part that I'm not supposed to. So that's A1, A7, look at that definition. Loving that. A6. There we go. It's just a bit hard to get there. Okay. Being extra careful, making sure that I don't cut right up against the part that I need. A4. Again, being extra careful, keeping some of the gate on the sprue. See how I'm cutting a little bit away from here, so that if I make a mistake, well, primarily because that way it doesn't put stress on the plastic. 5. And of course, the final one for base 1, number 3. Okay, and here we have it, all the pieces that we will need for base 1. It's 4, 5, and a 3. I like to place them in order that I will be using them and gluing them. So now I get to clean these up and then using liquid cement, attach them all together. So using our clippers, now we can go a little bit closer. Oh, that one kind of flew out. Get a little bit closer there. Okay, that's pretty good cleanup for the moment. That one I'll have to get with a knife later on. Nope. Sometimes the pieces do get away from me. A little bit clumsy like that. That one I'll have to clean up with a knife. Cool, that's a big one right there. There we go. And the final one. Again, just making sure that I'm being extra careful that I don't cut off things like that, which are part of the sculpt. Okay, now to go through, clean them up a little bit with my hobby knife. Okay, I have a feeling that this is going to be one of the parts that I find tricky to do on camera, but I'll try and keep it on camera as best I can. So I've got my hobby knife, lock it in so that the blade isn't going anywhere, making sure that we're being nice and safe, and then finding one of the gate marks and just dragging it across to smooth it out as best as I can. That was already pretty good, and given that this is like a rock golem type enemy, it's okay if it looks a little bit like protruding out or jaggedy, because that just adds a little bit of character to it. That part there's done, that's pretty good. I'll just go over this a bit. Yeah, that one I got fairly well with my clippers the first time. So again, we're just going around finding bits like this and bits like that and just cutting them out, running the blade along them, shaving bit by bit so that it's a bit smoother. Oh, I'm gonna have to take that one from this angle, like so. I find it's a lot easier to just reposition what side I'm coming in from when it comes to cutting, as opposed to trying to move everything else to accommodate it. go, that's the first one. Now this one was pretty well done, except for maybe was it that in there? Oh, I can't even see where the gate marks are. Oh yeah, there's one. There's one. There's one in there as well. So again, just shaving a little bit off at a time. You don't want to cut too much. And again, this isn't a foreign concept or anything like that. It's pretty much the same as Gunpla. This is a bit where the two hobbies, at least for me, intersect. There we go, that's pretty cleaned up now. Now this one I was a bit unsure of. Yeah, that looks, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, again on the part that's going to be touching the base, I want to get that as flush as possible so that it has a good bond with the base. Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit croaky at the moment. I am dealing with a little bit of a cold. Ooh. Yeah, that was a bit of a close call. Again, it's mainly just the difficulty of doing this on camera. Normally I would have moved that around a little bit more. Seriously, adding a camera to the process changes it quite a bit. Or at least in my experience. Then I might have to use some sandpaper to get as flat as possible. Oh, that one's pretty good. And yeah, one there. Now, again, those parts are meant to be there. This part, however, is not. That one's alright, but that one's not. Okay, that will do nicely. And this one here. There we go, a little bit of cleanup. I might have to get some sandpaper later. But yeah, pretty happy with how it's going so far. So as you can see, I've cut out and cleaned up a few of the gate marks. Now the reason why I cleaned up the gate marks completely off camera this time is because quite frankly they were a lot thicker than the previous one, and so for safety I didn't want to do that in camera and accidentally miss one, or you know, accidentally hurt myself doing it. So with that in mind, we are up to the final part, and just like before, a lot of this stuff just falls into place. So it's going to be very, very easy to put it all together. See, and then even this one at the shoulders seems to lock in fairly easy where it's going to go. Now this one I actually might leave off because it also glues onto the base there. Oh, sorry about that. It also glues onto the base, the rock that it seems to be throwing. Tell by the way that it's sitting. Give you a bit of a closer look with that. So I might leave that one off just to make sure that when I do put the base on, I'm able to secure it properly. And then of course we have the head, which just falls into place like that. So yeah. Just deciding where I'm going to apply my liquid cement again. Yeah. So all along here. All in here. There we go. Add just a little bit more into here. As well, just to really lock it in. And this is going to go there. And as you can see, like even the grooves here, even the grooves there, seem to just snap right in. There we go. So yeah, they just all come together. Camera focus is still something that I'm learning quite a bit about. So please bear with me. Might have to put some up here like so. Just to make sure that we get a bit more of that bond. Direct contact. There we go. Just a little bit more in there along the seam, because I can see that the weight of the arm is actually stopping it from like pulling it down, so it's getting contact on one side but not on the other. There we go, that should be enough. And as I said, the head's just pretty much going to rest on there, so I can put all glue all on this flat surface here. Not wanting to put too much in case it leaks down the front, because it will destroy the sculpted detail, it will melt it away. And here we have our practically completed first stone ward. Look at all that detail. As I mentioned previously, I will glue this together off camera, and then I'll wait until the very end when I have the base, or when I'm testing him for base fitting, to put it together and complete it. Alright. So, thank you for watching. And yeah, just taking it one mini at a time at this point. I'll probably I'll build the other three, cut them out and all that off camera, and then get straight to the priming and the painting. I already have the paint scheme picked out for these guys because I was very excited to start working on them. Thank you for watching.